Hey guys, Mel the Train Tutor here with, well, I suppose it's a bit of a discussion point really. I was chatting to one of the guys in the Terraniacs Facebook support group. Yeah, you hear me rambling about that all the time. And we were talking about sort of like what's normal terrain, and what I mean by this is greenfield terrain, putting aside all the urban stuff and deserts and fantasy and aliens and all that sort of stuff. When you get down to actual, more realistic, more fantasy, games, they're for the main played out on what we call greenfield boards, Northern European. Yeah, all nice greens and bushes and trees and all that sort of stuff. And it's pretty much standard. I mean, the majority of gaming clubs I know, they use basic boards, and they're either green or they're grey for fantasy or urban games. Yeah, and although, boards can be other colours, and other environments and all that sort of stuff, it's a rarity. Green or grey is pretty much the standard, And it got me thinking. What we're talking about is what's normal. Now, to me, I'm a Northern European terrain, which is the green, bushy, green swamps, woods, what we appear to be wargaming, the standard stylised wargaming terrain is pretty much what I live in. Now, I've travelled around the world, I have seen different environments, obviously, but I've never really known them or felt completely comfortable with them. Yeah, so if I've ever had to do a terrain project that follows those environments or matches them, yeah, I've always had to go out and do research, match the colours, get the rocks, all that sort of stuff right, and the vegetation, etc. Whereas when it comes down to the greenfield stuff, it just comes naturally. Now, doing that typical ignorant move, I just worked on the assumption that because all sort of fantasy games and the vast majority of historical games are played on greenfield, yeah, that every war gamer was comfortable with that sort of stuff. And I was chatting with one of the guys in the Facebook group, and he sort of explained that he really struggles with it, yeah, and he's far more at home and doing sort of like desert terrain, because I think he was from Arizona, really dry and parched terrain. He said no problem with that, easy. Yeah, but when it comes to it, I really struggle, And I realised I'd made the assumption that, I'd assume that everyone would know how to do the green fields, Northern European light terrain. Yeah, and it's got me thinking, yeah, as to, I get, you guys are spread around the world geographically according to my stats. There's a lot in America, but America is geographically and environment-wise a very broad place. There's a damn good proportion in Britain and in Northern Europe, but there are a lot of you around the world. And a couple of questions for you. First, do you feel comfortable with, the standardised greenfield terrain? If someone asks you to make something, yeah, would you feel comfortable going, yeah, I can do that, I know the colours and everything like that? Or do you feel that you'd have to go out and get research? Secondly, do you find that you've tended to make terrain that matches your local environment because it's what you're more comfortable with? Yeah, so two questions. Are you comfortable with the green side? Yeah, and also, does your environment sort of drive the sort of terrain you make? Is it more comfortable to make, Listen guys, it's a bit of a weird one, but I'd really like to get a bit of feedback, because like I say, I've been in this insular sort of like bubble with this one, and I was sort of looking at it and thinking, well, I want to get different ideas, and also give us an idea of what your environment is like. I mean, I can't imagine there's many people. Then again, I'm sure there's going to be a few people who live in swamps or swampy areas. There's swampy areas of the States, and I know people have mentioned, so there's got to be, haven't there? Let me know in the comment, guys. Are you comfortable with doing standardised, stylised greenfield terrain? Do you feel far more comfortable doing, terrain like the environment you live in, where you live? Let me know in the comments, guys. As always, like if you like, share it if you know anyone who'd find it interesting. Yeah, if you're new to the channel, then there's a subscribe button somewhere. Yeah, and all sorts of things. Check out the Patreon group. Oh yeah, it's it's Saturday, which means tomorrow night we will be doing the chill chat and build session. So 9 o'clock UK time, Sunday night. Yeah, just chilling, chatting. Come along, jump in the comments, we'll have a laugh. And in the meantime, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you and watch you get cracked on because I've got stuff to do. All the best, yeah? Ta-ra.